Hello and welcome back to Pump with Purpose. This is Dr. Diana here, and I am the CEO and founder of Pump with Purpose. We are a global lactation and postpartum private practice helping and teaching women all across the world to breast pump. So we want to let you know this is our next edition in our podcast, and this is all about power outages. Pumping in a power outage. It is currently winter time, December here in Virginia, and so we know what the winter time can bring. So I want to let you know, if you don't know about us, you are more than welcome to look us up. We are at www.pumpwithpurpose.com. We are on 15 social media platforms. Of course, our biggest is Instagram. Come on and look us up. Follow us over there at Instagram at Pump with Purpose. So let's jump into this podcast episode. I want to let you know power outages are scary, especially because regardless if it's wintertime with winter storms, or summertime with hurricanes and tornadoes and all of that, regardless of where you live, you kind of get a notice sometimes. I know there are always pop-up storms at any given time, but sometimes we get a notice and it creates more of a frenzy. Everybody's running to the store. We're buying stuff at last minute. Because of that, I'm a victim of it as well. I remember a very critical time when I was saving milk because I wanted to have another baby with our first. And so I knew that I wanted to have a baby. So we had 3,000 ounces I was working on saving up, which I met that goal before we got pregnant with our second son at 9 months. So I had a bunch of milk, and all of a sudden a transformer blew in our area. Our power went out. I was freaking out. We rushed to Home Depot, bought a generator to it's funny now that I'm thinking back on it. We get back home because it was completely sudden. Luckily, it was a good thing because, if you're preparing for winter storms, people start going in and buying stuff earlier. So we could have dealt with it being sold out, but we didn't. Literally, we purchased a generator same day, dropped about $1,000 on the generator. Guess what happened? We got back home, the lights were back on. But did we return the generator? Oh, no, 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 no. It moved with us to our house that we built when we had built that house. Then it moved with us on our balcony in our apartment while we were waiting to our single family home to be built. That's now downstairs on our patio out back, because I would never be victim to that again. That stress level is for the birds. And I'm just telling you that. Don't listen, that truth isn't for you, but that frenzy of trying to stress over 3,000, almost, I don't know where we were at that time and the amount of milk that we had, but we were thousands of ounces in. I know that when that power went out, I was crying. My husband probably never seen me freak out so much. That generator could have been several $1,000s and I would have purchased it. But we did enough, that I knew we could run it upstairs to our freezer and be good. But again, by the time we got home, it was back on, but it did not matter. We hooked it up. Got the gas, put in all the things that we do. We chained it, and it's currently chained. Not that we worry about anyone taking anything. I'm just extra like that. I lock up everything. But we have our generator secure, of course, and a cover over it. But anyway, if you're concerned in any way about power outages, it's about to be wintertime, we're here to give you some tips. First and foremost, monitor the temperature. Listen, secret sauce of the secret sauce. Our Amazon storefront and our show notes, we will have a bunch of links in there, but you want to visit our Linktree link. You will see our Amazon storefront there, and you want to go to 2 areas. Definitely can find it all under storage options, but we also have a special sensor push area as well, but they're both under storage or sensor push. So you want to have a temperature sensor. One, you can do the sensor push brand, which is what we have. We monitor it through our Wi-Fi. So they have a sensor plus the gateway. So the gateway hooks into your Wi-Fi. That's over there sitting. I'm in the room with the Wi-Fi now, even though we do it just to monitor it. So we have the gateway that wherever we are, we could have looked at our sensor push, and that sensor PUSH push PUSH. I'm going to say it again. I don't want you all getting confused on the names. to be able to monitor. You can have as many sensors as you want, I don't know, I'm gonna say as many, but no one has like 6 deep freezers. Maybe someone does, but it monitors all kinds of things. And don't think of anything in pumping as a sunk cost. Like, people use it, we still use it now to monitor our deep freezer. Some people use it to monitor plants. Like, it's used to monitor any type of temperature. It does not matter. So anyway, we have 2 of them, and we have a gateway, and we hook it up to be able to monitor our temperature. There's also a more economical option, which is a refrigerator thermometer that you can hook to your refrigerator. You put the deep freezer, I should say. People use it for their refrigerator too, but you hook the sensor to the refrigerator, inside the refrigerator, and then the keypad looking thing goes on the outside to be able to monitor it. So downstairs on both of our freezers, we have the sensors. We got 2. We double duty, because the temperature sensor for the refrigerator is battery operated. So of course, if the battery dies, it'll beep, or if you get out of temperature range, it'll beep. But if we're not home, we're not going to hear that. We're not going to see that. Especially when I was back going into corporate America day in and day out, it was so very important for me to be able to monitor my temperature, so I could be like, hey neighbor, put in I need, we were serious over here about the temperature. So you definitely can look at both of those options there in our Amazon storefront. Again, go to our Linktree link that'll be in the show notes, and then scroll down and you'll see Amazon storefront. Then click on the storage section. All of it's there. But either way, you need to be monitoring your temperature to be alerted if there are any issues. Then improvise. So what we did, and what we still have, is a plastic cup. So like a solo cup, a plastic cup. We fill it with water and we let it freeze. So we did this a long time ago when we bought our deep freezer, and it's still in there now. But you fill it with water, freeze it. Then once it's frozen, you place a coin on top of it. A penny. We did a penny, but it just place a coin on top of it. And then when you stack it full of breast milk or whatever, if the power goes out or anything like that, if the penny is completely at the bottom, that means all of your stuff will have melted. There's a chance of that would have all melted, and then it wouldn't be good to use. But if the penny is still at the top, then everything is quote unquote, there are no signs that anything is wrong. So we would put it on top, make sure that it stayed on top to make sure that it never went out. But the sensor push was a great way, no matter if we were home or away, to be able to alert us straight to the phone. But then the temperature sensor, it was still good, just in case something happened to our Wi-Fi, to still have the battery operated version of the refrigerator one was still good. So I like double duty over here. You will never feel like bad for doing some double duty. You want to maintain the temperature. So make sure to fill, if you have a lot of empty space in the freezer, if you want to put containers or something in it, like frozen food or something, just to fill the empty space. It'll keep it colder, especially if anything happens with the freezer going on until if you do have it full of breast milk, or until it gets full of breast milk, you could put other things in it just to keep it cold. Don't forget that water can expand, so leave some room leave some room just in case, but it's very important to double check old containers to make sure it's freezer safe. Make sure on top of your breast milk bags, even if something melts, like you put it in, we like to put it in a plastic bag as well, like a Ziploc bag. Some people do the brick method, where you take gallon Ziploc bags and put it in each bag, in individual storage bag, and to kind of make it look like a brick, we just use big jumbo bags and put a certain quantity in there. Whatever works. It just depends on how particular you are. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's in something else. So keep the milk flowing and going. If that's the case, you can buy, we love battery operated rechargeable pumps, regardless if that's a primary pump, small motor, or wearable. Having a battery operated pump, to be able to do that, you can always go outside, turn on your car. Do not turn on your car in the garage. Go outside, make sure you can keep warm. If you do need to go pump with an adapter, if you do have like a wall operated pump, and then manual pump, or just hook it up to the generator if you do have a generator as well. It's just so important to have a plan regardless. So it's wintertime now. This is going to be the perfect time to start thinking about a plan, no matter where you are in the world. It's just good. I mean, of course, like if you're in like, but even lately, like there have been some frigid temperatures out in Florida. So, I know, some Floridians, they think, 70, anything below 60, may be really cold. But, I've seen like Atlanta and other places south to get snow, to get cold, to have chances of the ice coming or lights going out, even ice storms. And so it's still just very important to have a plan. Start thinking about it now. Cannot encourage you enough to start thinking about a plan now. And especially if you're down south, sometimes they don't have all the capabilities like northern states that continue to get a lot of snow. So like clearing the roads, making sure the lights get turned back on may M-A-Y-B at a faster pace. So if you are down south, still don't think like, oh, it's not going to get cold. Lights are going to go out. You just never know. Just having a plan. You can also, if you need to, can't have any other options like a manual pump, you can always try to hand express or avoid anything that like can make you even more full if you're not able to relieve yourself like you're supposed to, like taking a whole bunch of herbals, which we don't recommend anyway. That's secret sauce right there. Or any type of, a galactagogues that can help support breastfeeding, just to make sure you don't just get full and then can't get and express the milk out well. We just never were great at hand expression, so that's not going to be our first thing that we recommend doing. So that's why we want you to get a generator, have a manual pump, get a car adapter, have a battery operated rechargeable pump as well. So many different things to use as well. Stay calm. I know that's easier said than done, but if you start thinking about a plan, devising a plan now, then it helps you to stay calm later. Limit opening the fridge, freezer. Don't keep looking. That's why we still do like having the Wi-Fi. If the lights are out, of course, that's not going to work, but that's why the one that's battery operated that can go on the outside, you can go down, look on the outside, see what the freeze or temperature is beforehand. And if it's cold, lights go out, take the freezer bags. If you don't have a generator, you can always take the freezer bags. You're concerned, like if it starts to get too low, put them outside in the snow. That's of course not the first and foremost thing we want you to do to be relaxed when you're sleeping, but maybe putting it outside in even colder temperatures, especially if you are below zero, is going to keep it cooler than trying to, keep it in your house if your freezer is not staying and it's the temperature steadily going up. So these are just some things to think about. Not saying you need to do any of it, just things to think about. If your breast milk still has ice crystals in it, if the lights go out, it is safe to freeze it, refreeze it back. But if all the ice crystals have thawed, if it is fully defrosted, it is no longer deemed safe to consume after 24 hours. But it's great for milk baths, lotion, breast milk jewelry, using it for skin care, whatever you may need. We just hope we give you enough tips that hope that it doesn't get to that. If we've had family, you got family, friends somewhere that's closer and their lights are on, maybe, a risk. If you can find a hotel that has a freezer, those residence inns, or not promoting any hotel, but hotels with freezers and then their lights are on, maybe getting a hotel room is going to be appropriate. Staying at a family or friend's house, taking all the breast milk there. I know if it's a whole deep freezer, then, listen, you got a trunk, they can hold everything in your trunk. Get it to a friend's house safely to be able to store in the freezer. If the roads are clear, it's not good if like the roads are still like bad and you're getting stuck on the side of the road. I'm just giving you just things to think through. If you know it's coming, drive to the friend's house if they're not in the eye of the storm or the concern that their lights are going to go out, or they have a generator at their home that you can use some space. I'm just giving you a whole bunch of secret sauce to think through if you're dealing with a power outage. It is stressful. It is a lot. It is scary. I remember it. I just got chills that run up my body every time I think about what happened to me that day in my beginning story. So just here to help you to devise a plan. I've helped people now. I hate to say it. I've had a few clients to lose all their milk in a storm. I've helped them rebuild their freezer stash again. One client, I helped her do it twice. Nothing that I want to be proud of at all. But when she had me, it was her saving grace to be able to help to devise plans to help get her milk supply where she can start a freezer stash again. So it just it's really hard. It's really hard when you're dealing with these storms and having to, or unexpected power outages. So let's plan now, devise a plan for it. If you never need it, great. And if you do, you have a plan. Even if it's just a random outage like it was for me, I didn't have a plan and I was struggling out here in these pumping streets. And I don't want you to do that, go through that a day. So Let us know if you need us for anything. DM us. Our DMs on Instagram. That's our biggest platform. We're always open. Our website, www.pumpwithpurpose.com. We have a contact us for a link there. If you want to subscribe to the bottom of our website, get our free pumping survival guide. If you want to check out our blog posts, forum posts, we have a Pump with Purpose app on all Google and Apple devices. Check our show notes. All of that is there. In our premier pumping consult, which is our signature offer, which includes one-on-one, virtual, global, everywhere around the world. We have clients on every single continent, but we have premier pumping consults where we can help you to increase your milk supply with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule. We do real-time pumping sessions. We do return to work plans. We do nipple care, clogged ducts. Like, we can just help you to try to navigate and figure your journey out where you don't have to struggle alone. So this is Dr. Diana here. Until next time with Pump with Purpose.